Hello everybody, and welcome back. I know it's been quite a while, but at least you've not had to wait 12 years, only to have to spend 400 quid to get the next lecture. Anyways, today we'll be taking a look at that enemy become friend who constantly slags you off behind your back, and occasionally turns purple. This time we'll be covering the Vortigaunts from Half-Life. The Vortigaunts are a species of extra-dimensional aliens capable of harnessing a form of electricity alongside more bizarre abilities and hail from the border world of Xen. They typically possess off-green skin and stand around the same height as an average human, bearing a hunched posture, a third arm which protrudes from the sternum, and 4 red eyes, with 3 positioned above a large central one. In the past they are known to have been shepherds of antlions and become enslaved and fitted with control colours, before being freed and assisting in the fight against the Combine. First encountered by humans during the Black Mesa incident, Vortigaunts were seen as most at the time as just another feral alien trying to kill them. Those who survived long enough, however, were able to observe several behaviours that indicated that Vortigaunts were not the mindless beasts they initially appeared to be. Rather, they were intelligent, cooperative soldiers fitted with harnesses that were thought by some at the time to be the source of their electrical attacks. It was confirmed that they were indeed a sapient species once Gordon Freeman travelled to their native environment, although it came to be understood that their electrical abilities were innate to their biology, and that the harnesses were in fact slave collars. During his time in Xen, Freeman quickly realised that the Vortigaunts were not hostile unto themselves, but were forced to work and fight at the behest of the controllers. Once the Nihilanth, the de facto ruler of Xen, was defeated, the Vortigaunts would be freed, and embraced their more passive nature, going on to assist humanity in more scientific and support roles over direct combat when Earth was conquered by the Combine. Despite their friendly demeanour and willingness to help their new allies, the Vortigaunts at times came off as arrogant and closed off, their culture and language deemed too alien for humans. As such, they only share what they need to, causing their true nature and history to remain largely shrouded in mystery. Among key information that has been learnt is that their natural form of communication is known as flux shifting, which is said to be incompatible with those whose vortal inputs are impaired, indicating that humans lack the biology to speak or understand their language. Another important point to note is that the Vortigaunts have been known to speak of a concept referred to as the vortessence. As with terms such as vortal coil, it can be assumed that vort, or vortal, is merely a reference to themselves, in a way akin to the words person, human, or mortal. As such, the vortessence can be thought of almost as a soul. However, it is much more complicated for Vortigaunts due to a latent hive mind that permeates their entire kind over both space and time. While not fully understood, it seems to indicate that while each member of their species is indeed an individual, they share a common essence or soul, and are able to share thoughts and feelings even with their deceased ancestors, or those within another reality altogether. One Vortigaunt alludes to the fact that they can still see Gordon Freeman in Black Mesa and the Nihilanth's chamber, not as if it's a memory, but like it is still occurring. While this is commonly believed that the Vortigaunts originate from Xen, it may be that the border world has no native life forms at all, and that the Vortigaunts, along with everything else on the floating islands, originate elsewhere and were either stranded or relocated there. Due to their anatomical similarities with Vortigaunts, for instance the third thoraxal limb, it can be considered that the Nihilanth and controllers evolved on the same world as them, acting as a sort of ruling class over the Vortigaunt workers. From Vortigaunt murals, it seems as though the Combine invaded their world, and the Nihilanth led them into exile within Xen. There is evidence that the antlions also evolved on this world, given the Vortigaunts' extensive knowledge of antlion husbandry and references to the fact that they once farmed the creatures. It is the antlions, however, that provide an insight into just how alien the Vortigaunts really are, for when they consume antlion extract, they are able to, quote, divide the false veils of the vortessence, insinuating that it somehow enhances their hive mind and grants them the ability to perform otherwise impossible feats, such as teleportation, energy barrier, projection, as well as revival and healing. While this state lasts, they take on a purple aura and are extremely powerful, able to challenge seemingly omnipotent entities. This seems to be a guarded secret within Vortigaunt society though, and is only revealed to extremely trusted and respected outsiders. Even as mere creatures invading the Black Mesa facility, Vortigaunts were a highly intriguing species, but the more which is learnt about them only deepens how fascinating they can be, raising even more questions about every facet of them. While powerful in their own right, it is clear that well-organised Vortigaunts have a potential which is seldom understood by those interacting with them. As such, they have been assigned an individual power rating of potent and a collective rating of overwhelming. While Vortigaunts on the whole seem friendly enough, there's just something about their level of arrogance that bothers me. Like they have a low-level disdain for all humans, knowing that they could wipe us out whenever they wanted, but are just using us for what they need. Maybe I'm just paranoid. Anyways, please subscribe for more course content and become a patron to support the lecture series, and suggest your own topics. Now, remember to stay on the good side of your lightning-bending friends, and have a great day.